Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to a new video of mine with a new lecture on a new topic. And our today's topic is Heathcliff's character in the novel Wuthering Heights, written by a Victorian female novelist called Emily Bronte. We are going to discuss the different aspects of this all-important character in this novel. But before that, we are going to have an introduction to this topic. Heathcliff's character in this novel is of paramount significance. It is very important character in the sense that you cannot imagine, you cannot think of this novel without the character of Heathcliff. He is the charm, the beauty, the attractiveness, the thrill, the enthusiasm, the intensity, the interest, in short, everything of this novel. He is the breath and soul of this novel. This character occupies the nucleus position in this novel. Rest of the characters, if they are important in this novel, they are important because of the presence of Heathcliff. They come into limelight, they stick to the memory of the reader because of their relationship, their link and connection with this all-important character in this novel. So, all the characters, for their prominence, for their importance, they depend upon the character of Heathcliff. Even the character of Catherine, which is the heroine of the novel. She is the heroine of the novel, but still she gets her significance out of the character of Heathcliff. No doubt she is an important character, very important character in this story, but her significance, her importance becomes more prominent when it is linked with the character of Heathcliff. So such is the significance, such is the importance of this all-important character in the novel Wuthering Heights. If Edgar Linton, if Hindley Earnshaw, Mr. Earnshaw, Wuthering Heights, the place, Thrushcross Grange, the place, both the residences, both all these people, if they are important, if they have something to do with the story of this particular novel, it is because of their relationship, because of their connection with this very important character of Heathcliff. So Heathcliff is, you can say that he is like a thread that unites all the events, all the incidents, all the characters together in the story of this novel. So we can say that Heathcliff enjoys the centralmost position in this novel. First important characteristic of Heathcliff's character is that he is a very controversial kind of a character, in the sense that some of the critics are of the view that he is a villainous kind of a character, he is a wicked kind of a character, and some of the critics are of the view that he has heroic qualities about him. In fact, he combines both these qualities in his personality. Not only he is wicked, villainous at one time, but he is at the same time heroic. His wickedness is shown by his maltreatment, bad treatment of different characters in the course of the story. He is a very controversial character in the sense that either you love him or you hate him, but you cannot ignore him. Such is the significance, such is the importance of this all-important character in the novel Wuthering Heights. So in this way, controversiality is one of the chief characteristics of his personality, his character in the course of the story of the novel Wuthering Heights. Next important characteristic of Heathcliff's character is mysterious character, or a mystery about his character. He is a very mysterious kind of a character in the sense that nobody knows about his background. Nobody knows about his parents. Nobody knows his residence. Nobody knows about his guardians. Nobody knows his family background. His past is completely hidden from the reader. Reader does not know anything about his past life. So family background, his past is one aspect of his personality that make him a mysterious character. Next important thing that adds to the mystery of this all-important character in the Wuthering Heights is his mysterious disappearance and mysterious richness that he acquires somehow. Nobody knows that when he disappeared, where he had gone to, and how did he has become such a rich kind of a person, how he has managed to acquire so much of wealth and richness, what was his source of income, who helped him to become so much rich suddenly. When he returns to Wuthering Heights, he is a changed man, not only economically, but at the same time, personality wise, demeanor wise, behavior wise. He has become a changed man. There is a grace in his personality, there is dignity in his personality, there is little of roughness in his personality, there is little of uncivilization, there is little of unculturedness about his personality. He has grown into a dignified kind of a personality. There is a kind of a erect posture he has learned to adopt in his external behavior, and all these things added a kind of a mysterious charm to his personality. Now, how did he manage to change himself so much drastically? Who coached him? Who tutored him into a cultured kind of a person? Who trained him into a cultured kind of a person, a civilized kind of a person? Who helped him to become a rich kind of a person? Where he had gone suddenly from Wuthering Heights, nobody knows about that. All the thing is wrapped in mystery. Everything is clothed in mystery, shrouded in mystery. In this way, he is a very mysterious kind of a character. Another important thing that adds to the mystery of Heathcliff's character is that who he is in the pages of the novel, in the story of the novel, whether he is the hero of the novel or the villain of the novel, what he is to the reader, what the reader should think of him as a villain or as the hero. So he is a very mysterious kind of a person. So mystery is the most important characteristic of Heathcliff's personality, Heathcliff's character. Next important characteristic of Heathcliff's personality is wildness in his character. When he behaves during the course of the story, he behaves in a wild manner, in an uncivilized manner, in a rough manner, in a fierce manner, in a ferocious manner. Nobody thinks of him as a human being. Everybody thinks of him as a wild creature, as inhuman, not a human being. There is a kind of a touch of supernatural about him. There is a kind of vampirishness about him. He seems to be a vampire. He seems to be a supernatural being. He seems to be a monster in the light of his behavior and treatment that he gives to various characters during the course of the story, especially the way he treats roughly and in a wild manner, in a monstrous manner, his wife Isabella. The way he treats his son Linton, the way he treats Hindley Earnshaw's son, Mr. Harrington, all these treatments, bad treatments, wild treatments that he gives to all these characters clearly prove that he's a wild kind of a person. He's an uncivilized kind of a person. While talking about this wildness, this monstrosity, this horrible nature of Heathcliff, this is what his beloved Catherine Earnshaw says to his would-be wife or wife, Isabella. An unreclaimed creature, without refinement, without cultivation, an arid wilderness of furs and whinstone. Pray don't imagine that he conceals depths of benevolence and affection beneath a stern exterior. He is not a rough diamond, a pearl containing oyster of a rustic. He is a fierce, pitiless, wolfish man. So this comment of his beloved Catherine Earnshaw clearly presents his real nature. That behind this exterior of Heathcliff, there is a fierce monster, there is a vampire, there is a fierce kind of a man hidden. So don't imagine him to be a romantic kind of a person. Don't imagine him to be a diamond kind of a person or a pearl-like a person. He is a kind of a rough personality, uncivilized personality. In fact, he is not a human being, rather a horrible monster. So this comment of Catherine Earnshaw clearly proves that there is an extreme wildness in his personality. Next important characteristic of Heathcliff's character is his vindicativeness or revengefulness. He is a very revengeful and vindicative kind of a person. His vindicativeness shows itself even at early stage of his life as a child. When Hindley Earnshaw treats him in a bad manner, this is what he says about Hindley Earnshaw. I am trying to settle how I shall pay Hindley back. I don't care how long I wait, if I can only do it at last. I hope he will not die before I do. So these are the comments of Heathcliff as a child. As a child, he had been vindictive and revengeful and spiteful kind of a boy. And not to think of a grown-up Heathcliff. When he grows into adulthood, he becomes a monster, a true wild creature. So this comment of Heathcliff at early stage clearly shows that he's a vindictive and revengeful kind of a person. And he takes revenge upon various personalities, particularly upon two important personalities: Edgar Linton, the man who snatched away his beloved Catherine Earnshaw, and next is Hindley Earnshaw, who maltreated him as a child when he lived at the place Wuthering Heights. He wreaks vengeance upon both these characters and destroys their life. Not only destroys their life, but also destroys the life of their children and their relatives as well. Not only he destroys their lives, but at the same time he buys both the properties. He snatches away both the properties, Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange, from Edgar Linton and Hindley Earnshaw, and becomes the owner of both these places. So this clearly shows that he is a very vindictive and a revengeful kind of a person. Next important characteristic of Heathcliff's personality character is his undying love for his beloved Catherine Earnshaw. This is the only redeeming quality in his personality. This is the only pleasant quality in his personality. This is only the brighter aspect in his personality. Rest of the aspects in his personality are very dark one, very horrible one, very wild one, very uncivilized one. He, in fact, is a monster from one angle, and from another angle, he emerges out to be a very wild and fierce and ferocious lover of Catherine Earnshaw. And this extreme love of passion of Heathcliff for Catherine Earnshaw wins the sympathy of the reader for his personality. Throughout the novel, right from the beginning till the end, despite his wildnesses, despite his unculturedness, despite his lack of civilization, despite his revengefulness and vindicativeness, despite his brutalities and monstrosities and cruelties that he gives to various characters during the course of the story, we love him. We love him because of his undying love for Catherine Earnshaw. While expressing his love for Catherine Earnshaw, at one occasion he says that Catherine Earnshaw as a wife cannot be happy with Edgar Linton. No matter what Edgar Linton does, no matter how much of the care he showers upon Catherine Earnshaw, she cannot be happy with him. At her deathbed, this is how he complains to Catherine Earnshaw for her disloyalty and marriage to Edgar Linton. Why did you despise me? Why did you betray your own heart, Cathy? You loved me. Then what right you had to leave me? What right answer me for the poor fancy you felt for Linton? This is what he says when Catherine dies. Oh God, it is unutterable. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul. So all these comments of Heathcliff about Catherine Earnshaw abundantly prove that he was the passionate lover of Catherine Earnshaw. Catherine Earnshaw was breath and soul of his life. She was the nucleus of his life. He cannot imagine life without her. Next important characteristic of his character is his change of heart and his reunion with his beloved Catherine Earnshaw after death. When he completes his revenge upon both the families, Edgar Linton's family and Hindley Earnshaw's family, then he thinks of Catherine Earnshaw. Then he starts imagining about Catherine Earnshaw. The memory of Catherine Earnshaw tortures him, torments him. Then after many painful years, Heathcliff dies and he gets reunited with his wife. And this is what the villagers had seen and observed on the moors of village. Villagers have seen both the lovers, Catherine Earnshaw and Heathcliff, holding each other's hands together and walking on the moors of the village. They had seen them, observed them playing on the moors after their death. So after the death, Heathcliff gets reunited with his beloved Catherine Earnshaw. So this is the character of Heathcliff in the novel Wuthering Heights. I hope you understand each and everything in today's lecture. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.